Hey, I'm Doug Small, Project Pray. I want to talk to you about launching a prayer ministry in your church by using an envisioning evening. Most pastors try to get their head around, how do I even begin a prayer ministry? Here's what you do. Announce weeks in advance. We're going to have an evening in which we're going to talk about what our church would look like as a house of prayer. Jesus said, "My house shall be called a house of prayer for the nations." Truth is we've made it a house of preaching, a house of singing, a house of socializing, a house of almost anything but prayer. This is not just prayer for us. This is prayer for the nations. This is prayer that focuses outward, not only on the people who live next door, but the people who live all the way across the planet. What would our church look like if it were a house of prayer? On this evening, you open it up to everyone that wants to come, that's interested in launching a prayer ministry in your church. Here's what you would do on this evening. You'd share stories, what God is doing through prayer. If you don't have those stories, we can get you a ton of those stories. I want to watch a short video on prayer. I've got one right here called Transformations, stories of what God is doing literally around the world. 300 communities, whole cities transformed as people band together and pray. We'll talk about the need for prayer and the joy of prayer. You want to share the vision for prayer ministries that you have for the church. And then you want to pray. Have the people pray into the vision for prayer ministries. Here's what that schedule might look like. And I'll send this to you. Make it available to you to use. Welcome them. Spend about 5 minutes getting warmed up. And then second, tell some stories of what God is doing through prayer ministries when other congregations have started this journey. Then third, show the video. We recommend a compilation of Transformations 1 and Transformations 2. It's an unadorned 20-minute video that dances around the world and shows what God is doing through prayer. You can get it through us, or you can get it through the Sentinel group. And then after you've seen this vision, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Your people are going to want to pray. Pray. Spend 20, 30 minutes just praying your heart that God would put a spirit of prayer in the congregation. And then break up into small groups and talk about what your next steps, ideas might be. Close by general sharing. Each group give a synopsis of what they've talked about. What could we do to transform our church into a house of prayer? As you begin the evening, do it something like this. We announced an evening to talk about prayer ministries. I'm delighted that you came. What brought you here? Listen, rather than have them share, have them pray. This will be awkward because we much prefer talking to one another than we do praying. But if they get past the initial reservation, this will be a powerful moment. Just pray to God. Lord, when I heard about this meeting this evening, my heart leaped. I knew you were calling me to this. I want to see, and then they would just share their own heart. I believe that you are wanting our church to become a house. I believe that you're wanting me to become a person of prayer. Just one at a time. Have them share their visions for the evening, and then pray. And when you pray, have them pray in this kind of vision casting way. Then break them into small groups, and then direct the prayers with one or two responding each time. Pray about the people of the church becoming people of prayer. Pray about the homes of the church becoming homes of prayer. Pray about couples praying together. Pray about the identification and mobilization of intercessors in the church. Pray about the church becoming a house of prayer. Pray about creating a once a quarter or once a month prayer meeting for the whole church. Pray about the interface between every ministry of the church and an embedded prayer team that's praying. And then pray that God would give the church harvest eyes. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to share this PowerPoint that I'm referencing right here on this screen. And ideas for beginning an Envisioning Evening in your church to launch a prayer ministry. And I'd like for you to call me and tell me how it turned out. This is Doug Small, Project Pray.